Hi there, it's Rob here from Gym 10. I hope you're well. Welcome to this body conditioning training session with me. Today we are trying to get you back into your fitness, working on some essential exercises that will really help you out. So let's grab a pint of water, take a sip, look around your lips and hydrate. Cheers. Put the water safely to the side and out of the way. Okay, so from here, we're just going to find a space. We're going to check around one way, check around the other, make sure we've got plenty of room. We're going to check above our head, make sure our hands aren't going to go to the right things as well. So from here, we're going to stand with our feet fist gap apart. If you do this training session with your feet in barefoot, then I'd highly recommend you do that. So from here, let's work with an easy jog through. We're just going to swing our arms up and down, up to our shoulders, back down to our hips. Just easy movement. You notice here as well that my heels are just going to kiss the floor, then we're going to come straight back up again. I lift my torso up nice and high, and I keep working through here. We've got 5 more to go here. Nice deep breaths, and just feel that you're pushing equally through the ball of your feet. That means big toe to little toe on both feet are doing exactly the same amount of work. From there, plant your feet, stretch across the body, big long reaches here. Now, we're going to lift our chest up nice and high, pull our shoulder blades back into position, high, long stretch and reach. Then take the elbow high and allow your feet to cascade one into the other. Nice. From here, taking a high knee flex, getting those hip flexors working, get your knee up nice and high. Feel what happens here. We're looking for that knee to come up to our rib cage if we can. If you struggle with high knee flexion, perhaps in your biggest joints of your body, what's going on at your hip joint and how does it connect into your pelvis? So from here, we're going to stand, use one hand on the wall, and we're going to drive up with knee flexion up nice and high, hip flexion as well. We're going to lift our chest up and we're check what's happening in that standing leg. So we're starting to fatigue what's going in through the top of that thigh. But now we're going to change. We're going to drive up on the other leg. Nice and strong. Now again, as we're working through this, we're going to try and make sure that our foot is facing directly forwards. Now we're going to work a little bit more. So the second toe is facing forward. So the big toe would be slightly pointed inwards. And therefore, shake your feet out and see if you can get bigger surface area there through the foot. From there, shake it out. From here, let's go lateral kick. Always try and drive your pelvis forward and lift your chest to get at here. Now this, for me, is one of the best functional exercises we can do. We don't do an awful lot of lateral movements, so going side to side. You will tonight, you get a few in here. And the idea behind this, we can really feel what's going on with the gluteal muscles here on the lateral side of our hips. Really keep pulling it out, big strong drive. Now as the feet come back side to side, this foot is overlapping just slightly that foot before it goes out. The foot stays off the floor, never makes contact, doesn't take that gap. I'm hitching the hip. I'm making those obliques work. Shake it out. Walk around. Feel what's happening in that hip. Again, drive pelvis forward. Lift the chest. Imagine a string pulling you out and high up. We're keeping the toes so that the feet are nice and parallel. With that big lift out to the side. We got our hips driven forward. We got our chest lifted. Our shoulders back into position. Again, this foot doesn't touch the floor. We go off balance. We get ourselves back in. And you're going to go off balance for a couple of reasons. One is you're not concentrating on the standing foot. The big toe to the little toe must be engaged to the ground. The second part is what happens to this kick out to the side. Does it go big and wide and controlled? Shake it out. Roll your hips. Get it moving. Counterclockwise. And then side reach. Keep the feet side by side, fist gap apart, chest lifted high, shoulders back into position. Big toe, little toe down to the ground. From here, oscillate the pelvis, get it moving. Counter the clockwise on that one. Open it up, get your back rolling. From here, we're going to stand with our feet, fist gap apart. We're going to step forward. Drop into a squat, step back, drop into a squat, keep moving. Now, as you do this, what happens to your feet? Do your feet stay nice and parallel to each other, or do your feet turn out? Nice. It doesn't have to be a massively low squat, but it does have to be an effective squat. The chest stays high, your bottom tilts back, your knees then flex, we work hard. Toes turn in, chest stays lifted, push, drop. 2 more here. 1 more here. Awesome. From here, we're going to stand on our right leg. We're going to kick twice. We're going to step across. We're going to kick twice again. We're going to step back in, kick twice. Can you do it whilst maintaining your pelvis in alignment with your shoulder blades back into position? Can you do it without that foot then touching the floor? Can you keep the balance? Can you keep the hips forward? Can you drive it? Now, if you're leaning over to the side as you're doing this, like this, yeah, you can see it's a different exercise. But it probably gets a lot easier on those muscles. We want to focus on abducting, taking that leg out to the side. 1 more here. Let's walk over to the side of the room. We're going to change it. We're going to change side. Lateral kick again, twice. Step in. Kick again, wide. Again, bring it back in. Now again, this feels easy. I guarantee you're doing a couple of things. One is you're allowing yourself to sit into this, so that's nice and easy. So trust to lengthen your body. The second one is you're not trusting what's happening in that standing foot. So that standing foot needs to be big toe, little toe down to the ground. We're going to step again, we launch, we lift, we go again. The chest stays lifted, the body works hard. We've got 3 to go here. Come on, keep working this. Nice. 2 to go. And 1 more. Love it. Now, the next part, we need to elevate the heels. Okay, so I've got a bit of 3x2 wood here. We're going to place our heels on those wood. We're going to grab some light weights for our hands. Okay, if you struggle with squats or struggle with depth of it, grab a chair and sit down into the chair. Don't use your weights, just push off your hands to come back into standing. So let's work with our feet fist gap apart, our heels lifted. As we do it, we want to come up and lift. So we're straight on from our ear, through our shoulder, through our hip, through our knee to our ankle. So we're going to work through that drop. We're going to drop through the squat. And take that deep breath in. Breathe out. Stand and lift. Come out wide. Rotate the wrists. Take it high into your lateral raise. And control into your lateral lower. We drop again. We're trying to get as much depth as possible. And we're slowly pushing back up out of this. From here, a slight angle there. We're going up through that lateral raise again. We're turning, rotating. Slowly bring it back down through. Allow that drop back down again. Breathe out, push up. Come through lateral to raise. Open the fingers, open the hands. Drop that down again. Breathe out for me, push up again. Take the lateral raise. Take the low, slow, lower. Drop again. Breathe out, push up, drive. Arms wide, rotate. Come back in again, drop lower. Last one here. Again, the strength of that rebound. Slow strength through the quads. High lateral raise. Pull through and release. Using the weights, take one hand up to your shoulder. The other leg is going to pulse here. Work on the width of that movement. Leave your platform out of the way. From here, we're working through. We're going to work through, offset. So we're driving the shoulder press, lifting the leg out to the side. Maintain posture. Get your pelvis driven forward. Get your shoulders back into position. Get the elbow to kiss the ear. So we're maintaining our head position straight, but we're getting our arms to drive as high as we can. We'll work 2 more here. Last one. Shake it out, roll the hips. You're going to have got tight there. All of the lateral side of the pelvis, they're having to work hard. All these muscles supporting that hip. Then step out wide again. Just work on the pulse to begin with. Make sure you get your pelvis moving forward. If you've got your feet, big toe, little toe, square to the floor, toe to heel down. From here, we're going to drive from reach. Elbow tucks into the side of the body. We're at full reach. The feet stay nice and parallel to each other. Big drive out, lateral kick wide. Glutes engaged, nice and tight. Toe turned down. 5 to go. 4 to go. 3 more. 2. Last one. And release. Shake out the hips. They're going to get tight there. Grab yourself a drink of water. Well done. And from here, we're going to grab our mat. Journey behind the scenes. There we go. So, dropping the mat down to the floor. Taking the same weights. Let's come down to the ground. Leaning back onto the floor. Once you get down to the floor, you're going to wiggle your pelvis down to the ground. From here, we're going to take the weights into our hands. Breathe out, push up. And then slowly control back down. Elbows touch the floor, but the weights, you need to bend at your elbows to get your weights to your chest. Breathe out, push up. Now, if you feel confident with this, raise one leg and keep the lower back down to the ground. Swap legs, go. And if you feel confident with it, you can raise both. But only raise both if you can feel that lower back fully engaged to the floor. Great way of developing our chest muscles. Now, if we lower the legs just slightly, we can feel the lower abdominal muscles having to work a little bit harder. Allow a little bit of a toe point on those exercises. And try and keep the knees apart. So the legs are a fist gap apart as we push up and drive through with weights. 2 more here. 1 more here. And rest. From here, we're going to take our arms out wide. We're going to spin out this way slightly. So our hands are wide. Our feet are flat down to the floor. I'm compressing my lower back down to the ground. We're going to take both arms up. We're going to individually work. And the idea behind this is we're really feeling what's happening with predominantly the pectoral fibers. So there's a nice wide arm pec fly. We're controlling that lowering phase, that eccentric phase. We're controlling the strength of that pickup and that slow lower down to the side. Head back to the ground, lower back to the ground. From here, arms go wide. Breathe out, pull up. So both arms working together in tandem. Really good strength. Now notice as well, the lowering phase and the lifting phase are the same speed. The other thing as well is you should be able to stop at any point and hold the weight. And that shows that you're in control of the movement rather than gravity. Working hard. Nice, slow, deep breaths, keeping that lower back down to the ground. 1 more here. And release. From here, we're going to slowly come back into our toes, getting a bit of range behind us. So our toes are now into our bottom, heels in. We're going to stretch and reach up behind us. We're going to use the other arm up and then comes down to the hip. So we've got a twist and turn here. We're going to pull up so the hands meet in the middle. And then we're going to swap and extend so the arms extend fully up, both arms up high behind. Now take note as you're doing this exercise, which muscle groups are impinging that movement, which are making it harder. As you're doing it, can you engage your glutes and ensure that your feet stay flat to the floor? As you pull back up, we rotate and we swap again, the glute stays high. And notice as well, the speed is slow and controlled. We are in control of all the movement. Now, if all of these exercises feel easy, what you need to do is just increase the intensity of the weight. Don't need to change anything further on that. If it feels too difficult, obviously drop the weight out. Or alternatively, you can flex the elbows, which will decrease the length of the lever, which will make the exercise just a little bit easier for you. The change in load pattern is successfully here. One more here. Big stretch back, big reach through. Lovely work for the shoulders. From here, we bring our feet flat to the floor. We bring our knees with that knee gap apart. We're going to drive up to our bridge position here. We're going to stretch up high. We're going to slowly lower the hips back down to the ground. Working again, lift, hips drive high, slow control lower. And again, hips drive high, slow control lower. Two more here, let's drive. Slow control lower. The last one here, up. And release, good stuff. Weights down to the floor. And from here, we're going to go onto our back again. We're going to try and raise our shoulder blades off the floor. Now we're going to take you back to your swimming days, if you don't swim anymore. We're going to work that breaststroke kick, and meet back into the middle. You might need to support your neck muscles here by using your fingertips behind your ears. Kick out, turn, control. And this is brilliant for developing all the hip and pelvis movement. Now, on extension now, I want your heels to tap the floor, slowly pull back up. Knee flex, and I want to see if you pull your pelvis up off the floor. You're going to drop back down, and then you're going to kick out wide, stabilize and hold. Heels are going to tap the floor, come back up. They're going to meet back in the middle, tap the floor, come back up. Slow controlled workout. Now, if this is too much on your lower back, take your fingers underneath, support your lower back. And rest. Good work. Turning onto your side. Taking the left leg up high, individual, feeling the work all the way through the lateral side of that glute. If you can, you've got the strength, you're going to raise the bottom leg into that movement. And if you're struggling with this, you can flex the bottom knee just to give you a bit more stability in that position. And again, if you're still struggling in this, you can work on both knees flexed, working through that range there. Work the level that suits you. Four more here. Three more here. Two more. Last one. And rest. Whoa. Rest it out. Roll over. Change over to the side. Laying strong on the left side. Straight line through. From the nose through to the toes. Again, find the level that suits you. So it could be a knee flex. It could be a leg extension. It could be both legs extended. Or it could be the bottom leg raised with it as well. Toes pointed toward and long. Four more here. 3 more here. Last 2. And 1. Whoa. Shake out the hips. Good work. Finishing out. Working the simple crunch movement here. Chin back, jaw back, nose back. Feet flat to the floor. Try to lift the torso up nice and high. Now, we don't need to come all the way up into a high sit-up, pulling up here. All I need you to do is engage these upper abdominal muscles. The shoulder blades are going to kiss the floor and we're going to come back up again. Now, we're going to bring our chin right back, looking up and high behind us. So the abs are nicely braced. We've got to pull through the abdominals to take us up. Working slow and controlled. 6 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Stretch yourself out. Point your legs away, put your toes away. Now, rewind on some of those exercises if you want to continue your routine. Otherwise, we're going to do a stretch to cool down here. We're going to grab that bottom foot. And we're going to lift up so our heels up to our bottom and a gap between our knees. We're going to push gently into that hand of the right foot, the right hand. We're just going to push that foot into that hand just to give a little bit more development of that stretch. From here, we can roll onto our front, roll onto the other side. We're going to pick up the left foot, and we're going to do the same thing. The heel comes up to the bottom, we drive the pelvis down to the ground. We feel a nice stretch all the way through the front of the left thigh. We push back through the thigh, feel a nice big stretch. And slowly release that out. From here, we bring our hands to the floor, take ourselves slowly through into standing. From here, we have our feet fist cup apart, we flex with a big stretch through the back of the legs. From here, slowly releasing and stepping and striding high to the left hand between the shoulder blades into that tricep stretch. Stretch, release and swap. And release. Really, really well trained. Hope you enjoyed that training session. It's all about using all the major joints of our body, which we definitely achieved in that training session. But a lot of calories from doing it, a lot of strength building as well, a lot of range of movement as well, like elongation of muscles and joints, which is critical because stronger, longer muscles, they need more nutrients to contract and be able to create movement for you because you improve your posture and your range. So thank you so much for joining me. If I can help at all, please do get in contact. I'll see you again next time for the next one. Well trained. Well done, guys. Awesome stuff. Very, very good. Oh, you get a nice close up of me as well. There we are. Cool. Well trained. See you next time.